For the next 3 minutes, let's look at some subtle changes to your documentation that could make a big change for your business. So we know that CMS gives us some documentation guidelines that are based on their LCD, and for the front office, they're pretty decent for the processes they need to go through. As a practitioner, I find them vague and really kind of not very helpful. So thinking about defining some of those terms that make the LCD a little confusing, let's just run through some of them. One would be functional ability. What does that really mean? Luckily, there's research on this, and research is what CMS uses to make the policies. Functional ability in the future, so predictions of functional ability, are actually pretty accurate when we look at mood of the patient and ascending stairs. Can they ascend stairs? Along with physical activity, how much physical activity do they engage in? And walking speed, how fast are they able to go? So in looking at those, we can actually predict whether the person is going to have a good outcome or be at a certain functional level down the road, even right at the beginning of their rehab. So we've heard a lot about getting ADLs, or descriptions of activity of daily living, into our notes. But the key to doing that really is not just listing this is what the patient does on a daily basis, this is how they do it, but linking every single activity the person does to a function of the prosthesis or the orthosis. So what is objective data? So I'll read this definition from CMS for actual therapy guidelines. Its objective evidence consists of standardized patient assessment instruments, outcome measure tools, or measurable assessments of functional outcome. Use of objective measures at the beginning of treatment, during, and or after treatment is recommended to quantify progress and support justifications for continued treatment. Such tools are not required, but their use will enhance justification needed to continue therapy. The documentation may include the following optional elements: patient self-report and communication or consultation with other providers. So you may be thinking, what outcome measure should I actually do? Say you have a gait lab in your office or one that you're connected to and you have that information. While actual gait lab information is more powerful technically, the computers that are actually taking in the information are tuned for the pivot and the amp. So whether we like them or not, whether we think they give good information or not, they're actually sometimes better to use just because the insurance companies understand them better. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but linking your prosthesis or orthosis and its functionality to Medicare's top few diagnoses that they want to control, again, that would be like falls, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, etc. That's huge. It's going to make a big difference in your notes, and it's something that Medicare is really looking for. And as I said earlier, when you're linking those arguments, when you're saying here's what the prosthesis does, it really has to be in a very clear format. The medical problem is, say, obesity. The prosthesis will address the obesity by allowing the person to increase their activity level. It will do this by giving them a knee that allows them to more easily walk downhill because it has controlled knee flexion when it's loaded in stance, say. And then you say the person has a driveway that's on a hill, it's 1/8 of a mile long, every day they need to traverse it to get the mail. Literally, those kind of fine point-by-point links are going to be huge to you. So the bottom line for your notes in this case is to really be super detailed and use some kind of outcome measure and really link ADLs to functionality. Do you have a problem you need help with billing and documentation wise? Do you have an idea for a topic for one of our videos? Please then email us at code@spsco.com. Thanks.